Frank Warren is winning the promotional Game of Thrones right now. He has stormed into the lead with being the number one promoter by getting the top fights for all of his top fighters. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Remstar Says So. Let's get right into this one. Frank Warren, god damn! Frank Warren has been getting his head down and he has been delivering for his fighters. I can't say anything else apart from Frank Warren is the number one promoter right now. When you think about what this man has done in the last couple of weeks, Jesus Christ, he has delivered for all of his main guys right now. All of them. I mean, I know for a fact I have given a little bit of criticism to Frank Warren on this channel myself. And it's only because, I thought some of the things that Frank Warren has done recently has sort of jeopardized the careers of some of his fighters. But my God, has he delivered. Anyway, guys, I think it's only fitting that we give Frank Warren a general round of applause before we get right into this. So where are we going with this one? Well, I'll tell you from now. Frank Warren has somehow managed to get the team of Gilberto Ramirez to vacate the WBO super middleweight title. So Billy Joe Saunders will be fighting for the full title on his fight instead of an interim belt to then go on to fight Gilberto Ramirez. Frank Warren has also managed to get Anthony Yarde that light heavyweight title shot for the WBO light heavyweight belt, and it sounds like Anthony Yarde's going to take home a purse of around $4.2 million. Amazing. Frank Warren has also recently signed up Joe Joyce, and he's managed to get Joe Joyce 3 different options. Joe Joyce has found himself in a great position, being the mandatory for the British heavyweight title. He's the mandatory for the European title, and he's the mandatory for Ajit Kabial's WBA regular title. So what Joe Joyce was done was he was called to fight Dubois, he was called to fight Ajit Kabial, he was called to fight Manuel Charr. Joe Joyce has recently turned down the British title fight, and I don't blame him. The guy's about 33 years old, and he will be fighting either Manuel Charr or Ajit Kabial. I'm sure his team and Frank Warren will sort of go over the purses and which belt will line him up in a better position, so on and so forth. Going down the pecking order, you've now got Daniel Dubois versus Nathan Gorman for the British title. This is a fight that Frank Warren said he was going to look to make in the next sort of 12 to 18 months, but after Joe Joyce sort of pulled out, the British Boxing Board of Control have said that they want Nathan Gorman in this fight. And as Frank Warren said to Eddie Hearn's favourite rent boy recently, he didn't want to make this fight, but neither of these guys wanted to pull out, and that's the reason why we've got Daniel Dubois versus Nathan Gorman happening a lot earlier down the line than we thought it would. I was happy to see Dubois versus Joyce, but I'll be equally as happy to see Dubois versus Gorman. I mean, I'll probably still be going to the O2 to see this fight because, it's a great opportunity. Some people think that Daniel Dubois will iron out Gorman. I am one of them. And then you've got some people that are thinking that Nathan Gorman will sort of slip and slide and get a points victory. Personally, I don't see that happening, but, this is professional boxing. We've also got Frank Warren managing the Josh Warrington versus Kid Galahad card on the 15th of June. My oh my, Queensberry Promotions, Frank Warren Boxing, these guys are getting all the fights. And let's not forget, as much as I don't like Tyson Fury fighting Tom Schwartz, he's probably getting paid about $7-8 million to fight a knockover job. The only criticism that I have right now for Frank Warren is that, he has given over all creative control for Tyson Fury, and he's just getting his promotional fee, and Bob Arum is pretty much pulling all the strings on that one. But apart from that, maybe it's because he knows that, he can get paid more money doing no work and letting Bob Arum sort of manage Tyson Fury's promotional career. So it's a win-win for Fury because he's getting more money, and it's a win-win for Frank Warren because he's getting more money. The only people that are really losing out on this Tyson Fury deal is us, the British public, because Tyson Fury most likely isn't coming back to the UK to fight anytime soon, and all of his fights are going to be at like 3-4 in the morning on US prime time. And if we want to see the Gypsy King live, we're going to either have to wake up early for it or go to bed or stay up. That's the only thing. But right now, when you're thinking about the top end of Frank Warren's Queensberry Promotions, Jesus, he's delivered on a way that, Eddie Hearn can only sit back and be jealous. Eddie Hearn talks about how good Joshua Buatsi is, but he hasn't really done nothing for him. Eddie Hearn couldn't even make an in-house fight between Dillian White and AJ. And he's now got his star man fighting the Fat Controller from Thomas the Tank Engine. Whereas Frank Warren has got all of his key fighters in important fights in the next couple of weeks and months. Like, as I said, Frank Warren has just delivered. While Eddie Hearn does interviews talking about why this doesn't happen and that hasn't happened, Frank Warren got his nut down, and he's managed to put together a huge catalogue of fights. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's just give a huge round of applause to Frank Warren and these fights that are coming out on BT Sports and Queensberry Promotions. So guys, let me know, what do you think? Do you agree with me? Is Frank Warren in the lead right now in terms of the promotional banners that includes the likes of Eddie Hearn, Bob Arum, Oscar De La Hoya, even to an extent Al Heyman, even though he claims he's a advisor, but he has his own promotional banner? Who is doing better than Frank Warren for their fighters as it stands, if you don't agree with me? Anyway, hit like, hit comment, share, and subscribe to this video. That's the end of the show because Rem Star says so.